Well, this is certainly an episode that you must watch till the end. I have two pulavs here. One is a chicken pulav, and then I have a mutton pulav, and I have a few sides as well. Pepper chicken. This is the amaravati chicken, and this is a mutton fry. Stay tuned till the very end. Namaskara folks, I'm stuck in Bengaluru's notorious mid-morning traffic. I'm wondering whether this was the right decision or not. So I've been on the road for a fair bit now. I've been traveling. You've probably caught many of those vlogs here on Food Lovers TV, on Kripal Amanna vlogs as well. So I've not been exploring too much food in and around Bengaluru in the last few weeks. And this morning when I woke up, I was craving for a nice local style mutton biryani or a pulav. And I've heard of this place in Yelahanka, new town, that I'm told does an interesting, simple but wholesome mutton pulav. So that's where we are headed. Now Yelahanka is a good 20 odd kilometers from home in Koramangala. So it's going to take us about close to an hour to get there. But I'm hoping that the pulav that we taste at the end of this drive is going to be worth this effort. It's also cloudy and it looks like it may rain, and I hope that doesn't add to our travel time to get to Yelahanka. Today is one of those days that I'm also driving myself, because the place that we're going to is not a place where we're going to have too much of a hassle finding parking, etc. So therefore, I decided to be brave. Well, here we are in Yelahanka at a place called 64 Mutton Pulav. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಹೌದು.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು ಗೌತಮ್?
ಹೌದು ಸರ್, 21 ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಜೂನಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದು 4th ಇಯರ್. ಮಟನ್ ಪಲಾವ್, ಚಿಕನ್ ಪಲಾವ್, ಕಬಾಬ್, ಅಮರಾವತಿ ಚಿಕನ್.
ಸೊ ಇದ್ರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿ ನೀವು?
ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ.
ರಿಯಲಿ?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಸೊ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪಲಾವ್? ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಆಯಿತು ಐಡಿಯಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು?
ನಾನು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿಂದ, ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರದರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಭಿ ಅಂತ, ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಅದು ಇದು ಫುಡ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಅದೇ ಥರ.
ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ನೋಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಬನ್ನಿ.
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರದರ್?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರೇನು?
ಅಭಿ ಅಂತ ಸರ್.
ಈ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟರ್ಸು, ಮಟನ್ ಫ್ರೈ, ಚಿಕನ್ ಫ್ರೈ, ಕೈಮಾ, ಕಾಲ್ ಸೊಪ್ಪು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಮಟನ್ ಪಲಾವ್, ಚಿಕನ್ ಪಲಾವ್, ಕಬಾಬ್, ಅಮರಾವತಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು.
ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್.
ಶೆಫ್ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ?
ಶೆಫ್ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವೇ
ಟೋಟಲ್ ಇಬ್ಬರೇ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಟೋಟಲ್ ಏನು ನಾಟಿ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಡಿಶಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ
ನೀವಿಬ್ಬರೇ? 64 ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಪಿನ್ ಕೋಡ್?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಪಿನ್ ಕೋಡ್.
ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ 64 ಮಟನ್ ಪಲಾವ್.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಹೌದು.
ಸೊ ಮೇನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಟನ್ ಪಲಾವ್. ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಮಟನ್?
ಡೈಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಆಚೆ ಒಲೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಕುಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು.
ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್. ಹೇಗೆ ನಡೀತದೆ?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡೀತಿದೆ.
ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್, ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಮಟನ್ ಪಲಾವ್?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ದಿಸ್ ಮಟನ್ ಪಲಾವ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೀನ್ ಮೇಡ್. ದೇ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ರೈಸಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಪಲಾವ್. ಏನು ರೈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು? ಸರ್
ಅದು ಕೇಸರ್ ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಮತ್ತು AKR ಜೀರಾ ಇದೆ, 2 ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. 5 kg ಪಲಾವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ 2 kg AKR ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ, 3 kg GTS ಬುಲೆಟ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಕೇಸರ್ ಕಲ್ಲಿ.
ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮದು ಕೋಲಂ
ರೈಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ.
ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಕುರಿಯಾ? ಶೀಪ್?
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಶೀಪ್.
ಏನು ಗಂಡು ಕುರಿಗೆ?
ಸರ್ ಗಂಡೆ,
ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಂಡೆ.
ಮಟನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನೇ ಶಾಪ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತೊಗೊಂಬರೋದು. 12 kg ಮೇಲೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, 18 kg ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆ ಥರ.
12 to 18 kilos. ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ಓ, ಐ ಲವ್ ದಿ ಅರೋಮಾ. ಕಸೂರಿ ಮೇಥಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ?
ಆಯಿಲ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸೊ ಆಯಿಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ ಸರು? ಕಸೂರಿ ಮೇಥಿ,
ಚಕ್ಕೆ, ಲವಂಗ, ಏಲಕ್ಕಿ,
ಚಕ್ಕೆ, ಲವಂಗ, ಕಲುವು ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ?
ಕಲುವ, ಈರುಳ್ಳಿ, ಹಸಿಮೆಣಸಿನ್ಕಾಯಿ, ಪುದೀನ, ಕೊತ್ತಂಬರಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಸಪ್ರೇಟಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಹಾಕಿ, ಶುಂಠಿ ಬೆಳ್ಳುಳ್ಳಿ ಪೇಸ್ಟು, ಟೊಮೊಟೊ, ಉಪ್ಪೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ಮಟನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕುಕ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಮಸಾಲೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೈಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀರು ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? ದಟ್ ಪಲಾವ್ ಸರ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಎಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ತುಪ್ಪ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ? ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ತುಪ್ಪ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. 5 kgಗೆ 250 ml ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. 250 ml ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 5 ಕಿಲೋ? 5, 6 ಕಿಲೋ. ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸರಿ ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಆದರೆ 10, 12 ಆ ಥರನೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಂಡೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್.
ಸಂಡೇ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ 6 ಇಂದ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಮಸಾಲೆ ಕೂಡ ಇರ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ ಎಣ್ಣೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೋದು?
ಸರ್, ಬಿರಿಯಾನಿ ಮಸಾಲ ಇದೆ. 5 kgಗೆ 1 ಸ್ಪೂನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಯಾವಾಗ ಎಣ್ಣೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ.
ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಯರ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಏಜ್ ಏನೇ ಆಯಿತು ನಿಮ್ಮದು?
33 ಸರ್.
33. ಸೊ 4 years ಇಂದ ಇದು?
1 year ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಸಂಡೇ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ರಿವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು, ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾವು ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ 4 months 5 monthsಗೆ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಬಂದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ.
ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಬಿರಿಯಾನಿಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪೀಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ?
5 to 6 ಸರ್.
ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೈಟ್ ತರ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸರ್.
ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಖಂಡಿತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. Oh, so that's a chicken pulav. Wonderful. So broiler. So mutton pulav ge ಎಷ್ಟು?
260.
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ
140.
140. ಕಬಾಬ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಏನೇನು ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ,
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್.
ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ, ಟರ್ಮರಿಕ್
ಇದೆ, ಕಬಾಬ್ ಪೌಡರ್ ಇದೆ, ಕಸೂರಿ ಮೆಥಿ ಇದೆ, ಮೊಟ್ಟೆ, ನಿಂಬೆಹಣ್ಣು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಪೆಪ್ಪರ್ ಪೌಡರ್,
ಜೀರಿಗೆ ಪುಡಿ.
ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವೇ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
I love the aroma of that cumin powder in that. ಇದೇನು ಮತ್ತೆ?
ಇದು ಅಮರಾವತಿ ಸರ್, ಕಬಾಬ್ ಬೇರೆ ಅಮರಾವತಿ.
ಓ
ಸರ್, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರಲ್ಲ, ಕಾರ್ನ್ ಫ್ಲೋರು, ಚಿಲ್ಲಿ ಪೌಡರ್, ಸಾಲ್ಟು, ಜಿಂಜರ್ ಗಾರ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
What I like here is also the oil is very clean. ಇದೇನು ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸರ್.
ಸನ್ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಯಿಲ್. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ?
ಸರ್ ಈಗ ಅಮರಾವತಿ ಚಿಕನ್.
Look at the amount of green chilies that have gone in. Tons of curry leaf. Plenty of onions. And that chicken kebab, the deep fried chicken kebab. You can certainly sense the spice in the smoke. And some vinegar. ಇದು ಮೊಟ್ಟೆಯಾ? Oh, lovely. I like the manner in which Abhishek has brought that melange together with the egg and also some yogurt. We just asked them to switch the exhaust off because it was making a lot of noise. But now I know why the exhaust is positioned right on top of that tawa. Idenu? Chicken?
ಚಿಕನ್ ಫ್ರೈ.
Chicken fried. I like the vibe of this place. It's quite airy, very roomy, and doesn't feel like one of those small cramped places. Well ventilated. Even the kitchen, for that matter, we just dropped in there, so they didn't know that we were coming. They didn't have time to prep in whatsoever way. But the kitchen is nice and clean. There's nice murals here, some pictures of the greats of Karnataka tradition, royalty from the literary field, and so on. So it's sort of place that is quite welcoming in its appeal, in its character. Also feels very homely in a manner of speaking. And I guess that also mirrors the cooking of the cousins, Goutham and Abhishek, who run the place. They cook the pulav themselves. So I'm told the pulav is cooked over a wood fire right in the portico. So Goutham cooks the pulavs, his cousin does the fries, the kebabs, etc. They cook small quantities. There are not too many tables here. There are only about 6 or 7 tables. So about 30 people can sit here at a time. They have a fairly large portico that I'm told will be covered in the near future. So I guess they're also prepping for expansion plans. So they've been open for nearly 3 years. And before they opened here, I'm told Goutham experimented with this pulav in his neighborhood. And once people loved it, once people liked it, then he had the confidence to set up an eatery. And that's how 64 Mutton Pulav came into existence. Well, all the dishes have come out of the kitchen in a hurry. We've got the mutton pulav here. We have a chicken pulav. The color for the mutton pulav looks a little deeper than the chicken pulav. And then we have 3 sides. This is a chicken amaravati. This, I think, is the chicken pepper fry. And then we have a mutton fry. I think we should make a beginning with a chicken pulav first. Because once you taste the mutton, the chicken has a tough act to follow. And now for some of that mutton pulav. They're quite generous with the number of pieces that I see here. 5 or 6 small pieces. The chicken had about 4 pieces. For the price that you purchase this pulavs at, I think there's tremendous bang for the buck. The kitchen is right there. There's a bit of the smoky aromas from the kitchen that have also permeated into the restaurant, and I can sense in that the heavy spice of the chili, and therefore one is coughing a bit. Enough said, let's get to the pulav. This is the chicken pulav. I can certainly taste the spice of the green chili in that. That certainly is a spicy pulav. This is the first thing that I've placed in my mouth, and that rice in the chicken pulav is certainly a spice bomb. This is a very traditional way of cooking the local biryani here. So they typically add some peas. I think the peas also make for a great medium to soak the flavor of that masala. Spicy it is, but certainly very tasty. I think that also helps tone down the spice of that pulao. I'm also enjoying the warmth of the pepper and the toasty flavor of the curry leaf in this pepper fry. You know, when I set out for this place, it was almost a leap of faith because I had to drive over an hour to get here. And I was wondering what the place would be like because many a times you hear about a place and then when you reach there, perhaps it's not what you had anticipated it to be. But I must tell you the two things that I've tasted here thus far, that pepper chicken and also that chicken pulao are the sort that have certainly made that trip, that drive out here worth the while. I think next let's move to that amaravati chicken. So this is a dish in which the chicken is first deep fried and then tossed with a bunch of ingredients. Plenty of green chilies that go in along with the curry leaf and then some onion and also some egg that makes it nice and creamy along with a bit of the yogurt. And then of course there's a bit of a garnish of the cashew. I'm quite looking forward to tasting this. It's almost a bit Sino-Indian in its appeal. So imagine a chicken kebab that has been fortified, of course, with the green chilies, with the onions, with the pepper, but then also been thickened a bit with the egg and yogurt, and also a lashing of some vinegar and soy sauce. The egg and the vinegar also serves to tone down a bit of the spice. There's also bits of the egg that you see in these flecks that are holding onto that cashew, the curry leaf and the onions. Also a bit of sweetness that comes from the onions. Both the things that I've tasted are like chicken kebabs, but not your standard chicken kebabs. That one had a heat of the pepper and this one had the spice of the green chili, all right, but also the sweetness of the onion and the body that comes from the egg and the masru. That chicken biryani now seems a lot mellower. And now for the dish that gives this place its name, 64 Mutton Pulav. So the rice that they use here is a combination of the kolam and short grain rice, the sort that goes into a typical traditional pulav here. I'm tasting the flavor of the kasuri methi, the dried fenugreek that gets roasted in the oil, and that's what has imbued into every grain of the rice. Also somewhere I'm tasting the fattiness that comes from the koppu, the fat in the meat, and also from a bit of the ghee that goes as a drizzle towards the very end. I'm told the masala for both the chicken biryani and the mutton biryani is the same, but as you can see the colors are different. The chicken biryani is a little more greenish yellow in its color, whereas the mutton biryani is a little deeper. And I suppose that also has to do with the character of the meat, the fat that basically diffuses through the biryani. It also helps tone down the spice quotient of that biryani. The chicken pulav rice I found quite spicy, but this one is quite rounded. Certainly a very tasty pulav. I've not touched the meat yet, but just that rice has all the flavor that you need. And now for some of that mamsa. The meat is nice and pink. Quite tender to the bite. I was yearning for a good Nadi style pulav in a long time. And this morning when I woke up, I definitely had my mind set on one. And when I looked at my short list of eateries that I had planned to visit, this one popped right up. I'm so glad we visited this place. The meat is quite yielding, yet the sort that still has a bit of a bite. At times like these, you need a toothpick just to pry out some of that stubborn marrow from within that bone. I think a chicken biryani scores in its spicy fervor. This one is quite mellow, quite rounded. You're tasting a bit of the flavor, you're tasting a bit of the warmth that comes from the pepper, and then the flavor of that kasuri methi. I can also now taste a bit of the fat from the meat on my tongue. So good that I'm going to steal another spoon or two of that pulav rice. I also like the feel of eating off this leaf. Also get some of that mutton fry. So it's been waiting patiently for its chance to be consumed. So some of that gushy has caked onto the meat. This meat has a bit of a bite. I was expecting the flavors to be a lot more vivacious, but it's all right. I guess the sort that will benefit from being in the company of that mutton pulav rice. The pulav is what would bring me again to 64 mutton pulav. The sides were nice, of course, but I think it's the pulav. And rightfully so, because it lends the place its name. The single most compelling reason for people to visit this eatery in Yelahanka, New Town. There's something about the appeal of the marrow. There's barely anything because all of it has seeped out into that biryani, into that pulav as it was being cooked. But I can still spot a bit of it somewhere in the center. And that's what I'm after. Success. The meat in the pulav is a sort that's quite tender. I didn't care so much for the mutton fry, but the mutton in the pulav is what stole my heart. Truly a delicious find. It's nice to make the effort every once in a while and then be rewarded with something special. And that's what 64 mutton pulav is all about. The pulav here is cooked in a very old-fashioned sort of style, even down to the manner in which it is served. But if you're a mutton lover, it's a sort that will surely hit the spot. I hope you've enjoyed this excursion to Yelahanka, New Town. You'll find all details of this eatery in the description below. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, stay strong, and happy eating. Well, I've eaten a meal good enough to feed perhaps 2 or 3 people for about 1,000 rupees or so.
Payment successful.
Thank you.
1,050 rupees.
If you'd like to support the work that we do at Food Lovers TV, do consider joining our membership community on YouTube by hitting the join button below or on the home page and receive special privileges like behind the scenes footage, shoot updates, access to live Q&As and a lot more. You could support us on our Patreon page as well. For more info, check out the links in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and leave a comment below. Happy eating.